Ryan, lead us off, please.
Hey, Courtland. You had 5 games of Drew Lock last year. How much does that set a foundation for where you guys can pick up when training camp starts?
It definitely it's something that's going to help us for sure. Get like a mini head start. Having those games, and then you add all the practices that we've had, all those routes on the air. All those reps count. The same thing that I was talking about last year. Every rep counted. From routes in there to 7-on-7 team period. All of those are going to be things that we lean on, especially not having OTAs. It's going to be something at OTAs and having a modified training camp. Those are going to be reps that we lean on for sure moving forward.
Next up, Brandon Cristal, KOA. Brandon, go ahead, please.
Courtland, after you went to the Pro Bowl, I imagine you get the same feeling most young players do. You want to be there every year. So how much did that experience change your offseason, and what have you done differently to make sure that you're one of those 4 guys every year, unless you're in the Super Bowl, of course?
Shoes, honestly, the work is the work, making sure that you never get to a spot where you feel comfortable. You never want to get to a spot where you get to, you go to the Pro Bowl and you're like, well, I've arrived. You never want to get to that point. And, I looked at it as motivation. Right? Like you said, you look at it and you're like, I want to come back here, but you know that it's not just handed to you. You have to go out and earn it. And so it's just continued work, continued mastering of the craft from, modified field work, with the social distancing that's going on, and then the modified at-home workouts, and then a lot of film study. Been able to get a lot of film study in with COVID going on. There's less in gym, less around a lot of people, more of focusing on your own film study, working on watching yourself while also working on watching other people. I watch a lot of different guys tape to steal some stuff from them. I watched some DBs that I've go against this year, just preparing myself moving forward.
Next up, Troy Rank, followed by Rod Mackey. Troy, go ahead, please.
Courtland, good to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Troy?
Hey, life's a lot different for you this year. We just talked to Vaughn about leadership, and he said he was inspired by Kobe, by Michael Jordan, watching The Last Dance. Where do you come in with leadership? Because when we talk about a young offense, you're one of the more veteran guys now. What is your role in terms of inspiring and trying to push this offense to places it hasn't been recently?
It's one of those things that, you find your different type of leadership. Everybody has their own different form of how they lead and, what works best with them. And, with us having such a young room, it's so crazy to think that, me going into year 3 that myself, Deshaun Hamilton, Tim Patrick, we're some of the oldest guys in the room, and we're year 3 guys. And, Coach, we know Coach Z he has amazing culture that he's built in our room. And we believe in, what he brings to our room, because it's shown that it works. And, now it's our job to help him by, I've always spoke on lead by example. I think that's one of the biggest ways that you can go out. Actions speak louder than words in a lot of different ways in life. And so going out every day in walkthroughs, especially with this ramp up period, going out in the walkthroughs and showing the guys, the little things that we're going to have to do once we do throw on the pads that are going to help us excel. Y'all know that we, as in our room, we take run blocking very serious. And, those are the techniques that we can work on in walkthrough, so that whenever we get to full speed reps, it's not something where we're trying to coach up that technique. We already know how to get in there and dig out safeties. We know how to go in there and, the angles that we have to take, all those things. And then, working on the technique of route running, you can really, when you're not going full speed, you can really lock in on, how to place your feet, the steps, the splits, all of those different things that might get overlooked when you're going full speed. Those are all things that we're going to focus on and, help Coach Z with the young guys, and then also coach ourselves up and be mature and be professionals and not let those things, get to us, understand that we have to fine tune our own craft so that we can be successful, especially with these minimum reps, minimum days.
Next up, Rod Mackey. Rod, your line should be unmuted.
Well, I want to follow up on something Troy just touched on. Right before you, Vaughn was on, and he was talking about leadership and stuff, and he seemed a lot different to us the way he was acting. He's looser but sounded more focused. Have you seen a different Vaughn?
Oh, for sure, for sure. You know, I follow Vaughn on social media, and then also Vaughn and I have grown, you know, a relationship since I've been here. And Vaughn actually, you know, would send me different videos that he would find over the break. He would send me different videos and share them with me, and I would always, you know, appreciate him doing that, because there were different things about, you know, there was one they sent about pressure and how these great athletes deal with pressure. You know, Derek Jeter, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, all of these great athletes who, you know, they've been in these pressure adverse situations, and, you know, the way they handle it, you know, they never look at pressure as something that they don't want to go through. They look at pressure as some people look at it as a gift. I think it was Shaun White who was talking about it. He loves being in that position where the pressure's on him, because he feels like he gets to go out there and perform the best he knows how, just because it's easy for him. You know, he doesn't look at the pressure as something that he's afraid of. He attacks the pressure and attacks it as, you know, an opportunity to go out and prove that all the hard work that he's put in and all those long days and nights are coming to fruition. And so I think that's the same thing for us. It's going to be one of those things that, you know, we had a longer offseason. It was a weird offseason in terms of what we were able to do, the access, trying to social distance, but still trying to make sure that we stay ready for when we get ready to come in here and go to work. And, you know, this is a completely different thing that anyone's been through. However, we have made sure that we put ourselves in a position so that whenever we came back on the field, you know, we're ready. You can look at the guys in the locker room. The guys look like they've, you know, found ways to, you know, put the work in, and guys have been, you know, in their playbook, so that when we got out here, that's not something that we're having to worry about as much. That's, you know, that's one of those things, that's one of those steps that I think is going to, you know, put us in a position to be able to move forward faster. Guys that put in the work away from being here, so when we got here, we can just keep it going.
Next up, Mark Kizza, followed by Jeff Legel.
Courtland, Drew Lock's never been a bashful guy, but how do you see him different now than this time a year ago? And how do your two personalities play off each other, which seems like an interesting thing to me? And the third thing, have you two talked? You're both young, you're both talented, about building something great together here.
For sure. You know, we have our team our offense is pretty young, especially our receiver room, the quarterback room, running backs, all of us, we have a pretty young offense, and we know that there is that potential there. But with that potential, we have to also put in that work in order to achieve that potential, but also surpass that potential. And it's just because something looks good on paper, as Philip said before, just because something looks good on paper doesn't mean it's going to always come to fruition. We have to go out and put that work in every day so that we live up to that potential. And like I said, surpass that. We have, you know, goals that we want to achieve as teams. You know, as a team, we want to build a dynasty. Mr. Elway's put together an amazing team, you know, offensively and defensively. And, you know, it's our job to go out and do what we have to do in order to, you know, make those things happen. Nothing's going to come easy to us. Nobody's going to hand anything to us. You know, I think people still look at us as that young Broncos team that, you know, they might give you a fight. They might give you a run for your money, but you'll be able to edge them out. You know, we don't want to be that team. We want to be that team that guys look at us and they know what they're stepping into when they step on the field. And, you know, people respect the Broncos around the league. And that's going to all come with work and continuing to, you know, move forward as a whole offense. And, you know, Drew has, you know, I've always said Drew got swag, you know, since he got his start. You know, I said that Drew got swag, and y'all have seen it. You know, he plays with a different type of swagger, and we love to see it. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, you got that young energy around you. It feeds off, and when it comes from your quarterback, who is everyone looks at as your leader, I think it brings a different juice, a different energy to everybody. You know, from not just the players, but to the coaches as well. And then, you know, it's gonna be one of those things that we get to compete really, really well against the defense. And, you know, I think we're going to make them better. They're going to make us better. We're going to get to move forward, you know, and have a lot of fun.
Guys, we got time for two more, Jeff and then D-Mac. Jeff, go ahead, please.
Courtland, I'm just curious, looking back on your own experiences on the field, the What are one or two specific things you would tell Gary, Jeudy, and KJ Hamler, if asked, that will help them have some impact this year?
I think one of the things I would say is, trust and believe in what Coach Z has, the plan. Coach Z is someone who he loves what he does to the T, and he's very passionate about how he coaches and what he believes in. And it can come off. Some people might look at it as he can come off much, but he does it because he loves us and he doesn't want us. He doesn't want us to fall under our potential. And I think that would be one of the biggest things. And then number two, just having fun. At the end of the day, this is still the same sport we played since we were little. It's just, guys are bigger, faster, and stronger, as everyone knows. But once you understand the system and you're able to go out and just play ball, just have fun, that's when you start seeing the big plays and all these different things, all these positive things start to happen because of just the pure joy that this sport brings, not making it harder than it is. I think that was one of the biggest things my rookie years. I put so much pressure on myself because I never wanted to disappoint, Demarius or Emmanuel. I put so much pressure on myself, and I had fun, but there were times where I was so in my own head about not making a mistake. I would go out there and just don't mess up, instead of just going out there and having fun, playing the game the way I knew how to play the game. And I think once you understand that, I think that's where you start having a lot of fun.
Last one, Darren McKee.
Courtland, kind of off that answer, what advice do you give to KJ and Jerry off the field now that you've got a little bit more experience? And what goes into making a great hype video?
The advice I would give them for off the field is manage their time with, when it comes to the film study. Once the season rolls around, there's going to be more time that we have throughout the day, and managing your time and understanding that, we're professional first. Emmanuel was somebody who, instilled that into my head as a rookie. We're professionals first. So preparing yourself for the game that week is the biggest thing that you can get ready for. That's one of the most important things that you can do, because you're ultimately helping not only yourself, but you're helping the team, because you understand what you have to, you understand your job and everything. And then also taking care of your body. That's something that Demarius taught me my rookie year, and something I still, take to my career to this day. Taking care of your body, because you only get one, and managing that is the biggest thing that you can do. And so I think those are the two biggest things. And then, a hype video. I have good people. I have good people around me who've helped me make some pretty cool videos. I appreciate my dog Jay Spinks. He's a guy who puts together some really, really dope videos for me. But yeah, I think just when you're working, you don't have to do anything different. You just go out there and work, and then the artist will put everything else together.